Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. I want to give all praises, honors, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to the hopeful elect that is scattered throughout the four corners, pushing his word in truth and sincerity. Yahweh being the one and only true name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai being the one and only true name of the only begotten Son. Abaratazah, this be another edifying lesson to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans from Judah on down to Issachar. World War III, man. What can I say? The apostles and elders have been warning, blowing that trumpet on that, having blown the trumpet to warn the elect, the 2/3, the wicked and the heathens, warning everybody through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai that World War III is among us, is now, it is now more prominent, man. Like, you got to see what's going on right now. Because right now, Iran got the Strait of Hormuz, on lock, basically. Telling people, like, we shutting this shit down. And anybody that wants to come through, your ship gonna get blown the F up. And that is gonna cause a domino effect and blowback with gas prices going up. And once gas prices go up, then every damn thing goes up, man. Right? So this is just the domino effect and everything that the men of the Lord have been praying for and waiting for, man, because World War III is becoming more and more and more intense, right? The war between Iran and Israel, all right? Because, missiles been going off. Israel took out the leader of Iran and a few of his generals, if I'm not mistaken. Also, I read another article that escapes my mind. I believe Iran took out Benjamin, not a Jew, his brother, or some type of family member. So, man, bodies is dropping. America is pushing its propaganda, saying that, the losses are not that high. But, man, hundreds of military soldiers has already perished, if not in the low thousands. So bodies is dropping, people are dying, missiles is flying, World War III is popping off, jumping off, right? And it's looking like the draft may have to come back because, more people are going to die. And these new generation don't want to join Esau's army willfully. So they're going to have to implement that draft, man. So you got to pray that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai continues to cover you and your family. Right? But I want to get into this clip right here. It says, the title is a 1 megaton thermonuclear bomb, because the scriptures goes into the thermonuclear missiles that's going to destroy Babylon, aka America. So let's go.
Bomb hits with such a force. First, it's a blinding light. It's 180 million degrees worth of light. It's a pulse. Everything within miles is in a line of sight is set on fire. So you have 1 mile radius of fire. That's 19 football fields of fire. Think about how long that is. Imagine everything in the line of sight catching on fire. So you immediately have this mega fire. And people have seen the nuclear mushroom cloud in Hollywood movies, right? So the stem of the mushroom, that stem is a several 100 mile an hour vacuum, okay? I mean, a hurricane is 90 miles an hour.
Right.
sucks everything up that has been turned into combusting carbon, basically. People, things, buildings. In a 9-mile radius, everything goes, and you have 30 feet of rubble. The nuclear mushroom cap, this 10, 20, 30-mile wide cap, is what's left of people. That's like debris of humans up there. If anyone launches on the United States, they are going to get the mother lode in response. 1,760 nuclear weapons that we have on ready for launch status.
We would unload the whole clip.
The whole arsenal. Everybody has a launch on warning capacity, or at least we in Russia do. And so if you launch, we launch. And then we're all dead. Soot blotting out the sun's rays for 8, 9, 10 years. The result is that agriculture fails. You know, you have this incredible freezing world for a decade, and then agriculture fails and people starve to death. 72 minutes from nuclear launch to nuclear winter. And I describe it in great detail, like from Defense Department documents, by the way, like scientific facts about what happens, which should terrify everyone that we actually know such horrors, but we do. We do.
Now, it's one thing to talk about it, but it's another thing to experience it, to believe it, you know? And Japan knows very well about what those missiles and those mushroom clouds and those destroying winds can do. You know, when America dropped those bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, if I'm not mistaken. But Admin knows very well, man. And that was back then. So destruction is coming, man. The virgin Babylon will no longer be a virgin no more, because her cherry finna get popped in the most violent way possible, man. All right. I'm going to kick it off with Isaiah 13, verse 19. It says, "And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms and the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency," right? This is not talking about Babylon in the past that was ruled by the Canaanites and the Persians and Syrians, right? We're talking about the modern day Babylon, America. Babel, confusion, lawn, meaning land, because this is a land of confusion and utter wickedness. Right? It says, "And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms," going into the glory of this modern day Babylon, right? It's so-called glory, right? "The beauty of the Chaldees' excellency," right? "Shall be as when the power overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah." So the Lord is saying, listen, it don't matter how advanced New Babylon is, how so-called beautiful the New Babylon is, all this elite weapons and technology, none of that means shit. It don't mean not a damn thing. Why? Because the Lord said it's going to be, the Lord said it shall be as when the power overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, when fire and brimstone fell from the heavens, man. And that is the same thing that's going to be befalled upon the land of America. The only difference is, you know, the heavens rain fire and brimstones, but this is going to be nukes. Nukes. Right? And it's also scientifically proven, since Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities were destroyed, no life has been able to inhabit that place. You can't grow nothing. It's dead. It's that those lands are unfertile. And that's going to be America, man. It's going to be an unfertile wasteland. Right? It says, "It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation." See what I'm saying? It says it shall never be inhabited. Human life, people can't live here. It says from generation to generation it's uninhabitable. It says, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherd make their fold there. So all these different heathens, like how they come to America, set up shop, get their loans, get their money, have their business doing well, they making money, they living good, right? You know, it's still fuck Jake, fuck the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American man, right? Because Esau society continues to further push down Jake while uplifting the heathens and himself. But the Lord is saying all that shit gonna be a dub. All that shit gonna be nothing. Nothing. It's not happening no more. Right? It's done. It's done. Because that's what these heathens like to do. Come here, make their money, send money back home for their family, living up good, man, while Jake is here. You know, if like Jake could be an American-born Jake, and Esau would still give him the 2 middle fingers while helping a heathen that don't speak no damn English prosper in this society, man. So Lord is saying, to hell with all that shit. Verse 21, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and strays and stairs shall dance there. So only doleful, desert-like creatures will inhabit the land of America. Your Komodo dragons, your different species of lizards, vultures, right? Desert-like creatures. Okay? Doleful creatures that thrive and survive in desolate places, man. No human life. It says, and the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant places. Yeah, man. Komodo dragons, other dragons, right? It says, and dragons in their pleasant palaces, and her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. Yeah, her time is here to come, and the days of Babylon, America, wickedness shall not be prolonged. It's coming to an end. It's coming to an end. Romans 3:3, but what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the effect of the Most High? Roughly paraphrasing, man. Hell no. This place is going to be nuked, destroyed, point blank, period. Thus say the scriptures. Thus say Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. So for all you non-believers, we don't give a F. It don't matter. You don't believe because the Lord ain't jacking you, man. The Lord ain't dealing with you. You ain't shit. Man, that goes for the 2/3 too. Y'all niggas and y'all bitches ain't shit. The Lord ain't dealing with none of y'all. This ain't no seeing is believing. Right? Us men of GMS, we don't have that mindset of seeing is believing. Because the scripture says the things that we cannot see are eternal, and the things that we can see are temporary. So because we can't see the kingdom, that means it's not real? Hell no, man. This is a faith-based thing, like the elder Pastor Gabar likes to say, man. This is a faith-based thing that we're in. Right? And to show our faith, we do the works. We do the works to show our faith, man. We're going to get Proverbs 21. Start from verse 1, right? Because people still like to say, oh, the Lord ain't going to do that. Why would the Lord destroy America? Why would the Lord destroy why would the Lord destroy, America, the so-called white man and the heathens? It's man that's doing that. Man is wicked. Man this, man that. It's man's will. We got Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh. There we go. Just like when you go back and you read Exodus, if you read Exodus, guess what? Pharaoh wanted to let Israel go. He wanted to. He was going to, but the Lord was like, nah, I'm about to put that spirit on you to just be like, nah, to fight back. Pharaoh wanted to, but the Lord was like, nope, I'm going to put that spirit on you to buck up and fight back. Because why? The Lord wanted to show his wonders, his power to his people and to the heathens to let them know. Because till this day, the Exodus is the most greatest deliverance ever recorded that is still talked about to this very, very exact moment. But the Lord also said what? The next deliverance for the nation of Israel is going to outdo the Exodus deliverance, man. The new Exodus is going to be the one that's spoken about forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, man. Okay? So all these things that's going on, the Lord is putting the spirit on these kings, these presidents, Trump, Putin, Kim Jong-un, Benjamin Netanyahu, right? All these different leaders who are kings of their country, the Lord is putting a spirit on them to do everything that's going on, everything they say, right? From what they wear to what they eat to what they do to what they think. The Lord put that spirit on all of them. Why? Because the Lord Yahweh controls everything. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. But then you got people who say, well, if the Lord is putting the spirit on men to do evil, would that not let the Lord be evil? That's a demonic thought right there, man. And anybody who thinks that way, that's a sure way to know that the Lord is just not dealing with that person at all. At all. At all. Everything the Lord does is righteous, man. Why? Because the Lord said he created evil. The Lord said in Isaiah chapter 45, he forms the light and the darkness. Right? The Lord creates evil and good. It's called balance. It's called balance. The Lord is about balance. You can't just have all good and then all evil. It's balance. So the Lord puts the spirit on men to do certain things so they can be judged for their wickedness. And the Lord's put the spirit on his elect men to be righteous so they can get judged for their righteousness. It's as simple as that. If the Lord don't like you, then you ask stop, man. You ask stop. You ask stop, but you ain't gonna do some wicked and say, oh, it's the Lord's fault. Nah, nigga, it's your fault. You did that shit, it's your fault. Gonna try to blame the Lord. Nah, nigga, it's all on you. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whichsoever he will. Everything bends to the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Period. Verse 2. It says, every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord Yahweh pondereth the hearts. Yeah. So, and that's the thing. You got these wicked heathens, right? The wicked and the heathens. Salat. That's my son, Salat. So you have these wicked heathens and the wicked who think what they're doing is righteous. They really think them being evil towards the nation of Israel, being wicked towards the Lord's people, that they're being righteous. But the Lord knows that they're wicked, that they're the evil, and they're going to be judged. You got a lot of people who do wickedness, and they want to say, the Lord knows my heart. Like they'll say, like the Lord knows their heart, to try to justify their wickedness to say it's not being wicked. Nah, nigga, you right. The Lord do know your heart. The Lord know that you a damn wicked, demonic demon. And judgment is going to come upon you for your wickedness. The Lord, you right. You're right. The Lord does know your heart. You're right. You're right. You're a demon. Verse 3, to do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord Yahweh than sacrifice. Keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your abilities is what the Lord finds more pleasing over sacrifice. Because, for one, the law of sacrifice is done away with. Why? Because Israel kept premeditating sin. Israel would conjure up some shit like, I'm about to be wicked, commit sin, but let me get my doves, let me get my ram, let me get my animals to sacrifice for the Lord to forgive me. So eventually the Lord was like, yo, fuck that, man. All the sacrifice, scratch all that. Cause y'all niggas is really wicked, man. Y'all really sitting here conjuring up sinful shit to do. And because you know that it's a law of sacrifice, you want to perform the law of sacrifice to be forgiven. The Lord said, nah, fuck that. I'm going to have my son, Yahushua, the first spirit ever created, to be the ultimate sacrificial lamb, the last sacrifice. So that way Israel, Yah won't be forgiven for premeditating, purposely committing sin. So it is better in the sight of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua to do what? Be sincere in keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your abilities, man. Look what happened to Saul when he didn't obey the Lord. Right? The Lord removed spirit from him, and Saul got taken out of his rulership from being a king, and the Lord put an evil spirit upon Saul, man. You see? You see what I'm saying? It says, a high look and a proud heart. Yeah, Esau has that look of disgust towards our people. Jake too. 2/3 of our people have, 2/3 of our people do that shit too. But Esau, he wicked, man. You can see the look on his face, the utter disgust and hatred that he has towards Jake, man. It says, and a proud heart, right? Pride cometh before destruction. Esau is the most proudest mofo on this planet. Esau, it takes pride in every damn thing that he does. Pride in his wickedness, pride in his army, pride in himself. Esau so prideful, he put himself as being the savior and God. That's some wicked, proudful shit. But that's what the scripture says, pride cometh before destruction. So all your pride, and right behind your pride, destruction is on your ass. On your ass, Esau. It says, and the plowing of the wicked is sin. The wicked. Again, 2/3 of our people has these characteristics, but this is Esau down to the T. To the T. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it. This is Esau, the so-called white man. And we're going to finish off. We're going to finish off with Jeremiah 51, verse 1. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will rise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. And that destroying wind is talking about the after effect, the aftermath of the thermonuclear missiles that's going to be launched upon Babylon, aka America. As you saw in the clip earlier in the video, that mushroom that sucks everything in and just boom, violates. Like, it's going to spread. Like, if you remember watching the video, man, hey, basically the 5 boroughs, right? Just from that one missile hitting Manhattan, the 5 boroughs, parts of Jersey, and parts of, Westchester and upper New York is going to be gone. Gone. Utterly gone. Destroyed. And I'm pretty sure with the destroying wind, it's going to spread even further than that. And you gotta put in your mind, if that's what one missile does, imagine the hundreds the hundreds of nuclear warhead in those missiles, in just one missile, man. That's hundreds and hundreds of nuclear warheads that's going to decimate this place. It says, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. So when you go into the fanner, back in the ancient times, they would have something, they call it a fanner, because it's helping to add more oxygen to the fire, so the fire could, last longer, spread more, be more deadly, be more dangerous, right? And that's what those other nations is going to do when it comes to America. Because you got to remember, man, America's enemies is going to come up against her. You got Iran, North Korea, and most of the missiles is coming from Russia. And then you got China, right? That's going to just nuke this place, destroy this place, in the land of Babylon, man. Right? And also, America's allies who are part of NATO are going to turn against Babylon. So them missiles is going to be getting let loose over here, man. Verse 3. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifted himself up in his burgadine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. So the archer that bended the bow, ain't talking about no regular dude with an archer, because ain't no regular arrow is going to reach from the so-called Middle East, coming from Iran, North Korea, or China, or Russia, right? And you can't shoot an arrow and it's going to come to America. Those arrows that the scripture is talking to is a description of talking about the missiles, man. It's a metaphor. Okay, you got to remember, when the prophets back then saw these visions, they had to compare it to what was going on in their day and age, which is the closest thing. When you look at a missile, it goes up and then it comes right back down. When you're shooting an arrow, it goes up and then it comes right back down. So the arrow back in the ancient time is being described and compared to the modern day missiles being shot across from one nation to another nation to cause destruction, man. And it says, and against him that lifted himself up in his burgadine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. Yeah, because a lot of these young men are going to be destroyed. They're going to get sent off to war. It's going to be a bunch of widows. It's going to be more single baby mamas. Because the draft has to come back. And these young men are going to be forced to join that third world war. And they're going to be destroyed, man. They're going to be destroyed. Okay? Verse 4. Thus the slain shall fall on the land of the Chaldeans, the new modern day Chaldeans who are witches and warlocks, reincarnated from the Babylonian period. It's talking about these elite family, right? The number one, the Rothschilds. You got the Rockefellers, the Giddys, the DuPonts, what's the other one called? I forgot the last name. Rothschild, Giddys, DuPonts, Rockefellers. The Oppenheimers, man. These elite families who are modern day witches and warlocks that were reincarnated in this time. All right, they're going to be captured to be slaves in the kingdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, to rebuild the kingdom, man. So they could go hide in their underground bunkers, go out there in space, and the Lord's gonna find them. The Lord's gonna find them. When destruction is over and they see the man of the Lord just come rip open that door and grab them by the neck, oh, they're in for a surprise, man. They're in for a surprise. Right? And they that are thrust through her in the streets. So, hey, man, utter destruction is coming to the land of America, Babylon. Okay? this place is going to be destroyed, and you got to pray that you have you got to pray that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai blesses you and your family and deliver you, and you make it on those chariots, man. Because that lake of fire ain't talking about what they show you on TV, no red naked man with a pitchfork and a tail and horns dancing and laughing. And hell, that lake of fire is talking about when the elect is on the chariots looking down from a bird's eye view. The land of America is going to look like a lake of fire because of the amount of destruction and fire that's going to be, that's going to take over this place. It's going to look like a lake. All right? And that's going to be a memorial, right? A memorial for the heathens to see this is what happens when you mess with the Lord's people. Because the whole earth won't be destroyed, just parts of the earth. So you're going to have heathens that are going to survive this World War III, but they're going to be tributaries to the nation of Israel. We're going to rule over all of them. All right, and we're going to impose the Lord's will upon them. They will have to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. They don't got a choice. But the land of America, Babylon, will be destroyed, just say the scriptures, man. So I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to the hopeful elect that is scattered throughout the four corners, pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Shalom. I'm also going to add the description to my other channel that I've been posting on, mainly in the descriptions. Babu Kashar, subscribe and be edified. Shalom.